I hope everyone is keeping fine. There has been constant negative news to contend with every day. In fact, every day is a breaking news day. I am desperately waiting for some good news to come through where we can all rejoice for a positive change. When we believe the other is the enemy, we have created a super narcissistic world. The arrogance in some people has created the deepest, darkest beast we see manifested around us today. I was truly hoping that 2024 is going to be a year of positive change. However, the great spill from 2023 is holding some people back big time. Where is God when you need Him? We need to stop listening to religion to understand that God wants us to be one. We all should be preaching oneness, otherwise we will never move from this dark place. Before anything gets out of hand and goes too far, we have the ability to turn potential poison into medicine. To turn that ailment to that which alleviates us. This costs nothing, and only requires the courage to do so. If not, the potential is there for passing on carried anger and hate to family or others to inherit like a generational curse. Hatred consumes and destroys. The sheer destruction is the result of deep-rooted dislike and hatred for other person or group. This shatters lives. What is the source of it all? Hatred is learned because no one is born hating anyone. Hate is utterly destructive, indeed it can be unlearned. When hatred takes over a person or group of people, it can do worse than any disease can. The damage is huge. Hatred is like a plague, it is devastating, and it consumes one's entire rationality. It is extremely devastating. None of us is born with hate or fear in our hearts. We learn both behaviors during our domestication process when we are children. These egoic reactions become habitual as we don't evaluate or question the beliefs they taught us in childhood. Disagreements arise from the egoic minds, believing it is separate and unconnected to others. We know this is a lie it uses to keep us from getting our feelings hurt or not taking a chance to create the life we desire. Misunderstanding and disputes arise from old belief systems to which the ego stays attached despite it harming us. So, when we gather with those who believe differently from us or their life experience has given them an alternative opinion than our own, the ego instantly wants to debate. It wants to defend our position and prove we are right, and they are wrong. The ego is looking to blame, shame and judge others for their way of thinking, which is unlike ours. Our thoughts are just that, thoughts, ideas and notions our egoic mind spins based on our environment. Just because another thinks differently than us, does not mean they are wrong or that our thought process is correct. Because the injustice done can be difficult to swallow. So, hatred and unmanaged anger slides in. It takes care of you like the parasites. It takes control of your whole nervous system. Look at yourself, are you the person you like to be? What is right, and what is evil? What is happening in the Middle East is complex, but it can happen in families too. Especially in large families. Hate and grievances. People get consumed. Evil and destructive attitudes can ruin the person or a group of people. A simple kindness towards others can help one change other people's feelings and behavior for the better. This is a tested CT. Most people emulate good people. Negative forces are alive and well in the Middle East right now. Bigger players should be channeling peace, and not fan the fire. It is devastating and beyond comprehension to see what is happening in real time. Poor horror. Hatred destroys, especially when indoctrinated from early age. It becomes difficult to shift the habit. Negativity can shift it for better if the person is open to change. I have no words, just the feeling of deep sadness for anyone caught up in it. God teaches forgiveness. The inability to forgive results in resentment, which leads to misguided anger, hatred, and uncontrolled rage. These are all negative emotions. The more you feast on them, the stronger they grow. Negative energy destroys from within. Forgiveness, reconciliation, and peace is possible. Forgiveness is a gift from God. Peace is possible. Another hardest thing in life to overcome is anger. Not to react when you are angered. The ego and out hard wiring demands to be respected. The reflex involved will never allow us many times to turn the other cheek. Also, until the philosophy that one race is more superior and another race inferior, there will always be misunderstanding and war. Hate breeds hate. Look at Nigeria, which is constantly facing security challenges from Boko Haram Islamist group. Now, that is Nigerian fighting Nigerian. Love and hate are merely emotions. It is only when one acts upon those two emotions that causes growth or destruction within this physical world. Justice and revenge serve each other, and derived from the law, and the knowledge of knowing right from wrong. When people who control the laws fail to correctly do their duties, they are sowing the seeds of lawlessness. In fact, when the makers and enforcers of the laws fail to exercise their duties on all levels of the population, and that is including themselves, the poor and the rich, then they are practicing lawlessness. They are breaking the law. Before anything gets out of hand and goes too far, we can turn potential poison into medicine. That ailment can be turned to something that alleviates us. It costs nothing, but only the courage to do so. If not, then there is a potential for passing on carried anger and hate to family or others to inherit it as a generational curse. The power of love comes in many forms and expressions. There are the simple acts of loving kindness towards family and friends, members of the community, and strangers. Love reaches across boundaries and borders, expressing what is more essential and human, what unites rather than divides. Small things with great love are more potent and powerful than we realize, because they connect us to one another. We hope and pray that the negative news will soon end. We will all be ready to embrace good news of love and care, which is so long overdue. Thank you for your time. God's blessings be upon you always. Have a great weekend.